Hello. In this video, we are going to discuss about what are the policies in India for promoting diversity. There are 3-4 major initiatives for promoting diversity in the context of education. One is constitutional mechanism of reservation, and second is a diversity oriented admission policies in some of the institutions, and incentive schemes, and for student support program in campuses. Let us take the case of the reservation policies. Reservation policies are an affirmative action policies to ensure the certain share of the higher education seats are reserved for scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. Initially, this reservation policy have been extended to scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. In later 93rd constitutional amendment extended the reservation to other backward classes also. And recently 124th constitutional amendment made a provision that the 10% of the seats can be reserved for economically backward general category population. So, therefore, one is traditionally we have reservation for scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, then OBC has been added in 2006, and recently the another economically backward class reservation was also enacted. And there is a two dimension of the reservation in India. One is the vertical reservation, second is horizontal. The vertical reservation idea is that each of the eligible group will get certain share of the seats. For instance, in the case of central government institution, the 15% of the seats are reserved for SCs and 7.5% for the scheduled tribe and 27% for the other backward classes. So, it will be total will be 49.5. With the introduction of the economically weaker section reservation, the total reservation in the central government institution is 59.5. So, this is a vertical. The horizontal reservation is about the reservation for the physically challenged. For instance, their reservation according to the rule, the 3% of the seats should be reserved for physically challenged, but this is not in addition to the 59.5 among the each social group and the general 3% will be made available to the physically challenged candidate. So, this is horizontal. And the second, this is what I have discussed about is the reservation is a constitutional provision. In addition to constitutional provision, there are some diversity oriented admission policies that has been followed by some of the institutions in the country. The one idea, so why they are doing that? This is an idea, an intervention to attract and recruit students from a targeted groups. The first example could be Jawaharlal Nehru University. Jawaharlal Nehru University follows a deprivation points. Those students coming from underdeveloped districts of the country, they will be giving extra mark in the entrance examination of JNU. Therefore, the students from the underdeveloped districts will get more chances to access higher education. It was a very good success story. That is why the JNU reflects the diversity of the country. In the similar fashion, the IIMs recently introduced the idea of a scheme called gender diversity factor. According to this intervention, extra or additional mark will be provided to the woman candidate in order to boost their access to IIMs. And the fourth one is the reservation for the transgender. Recently the government of Kerala has reserved 2 seats for transgender communities in colleges and universities in Kerala. So, these all are the diversity oriented admission policies mostly followed by the institution. The one exception could be the last one, that is a transgender, that is actually enacted by the government of Kerala. And incentive schemes. So far we have discussed about how to bring students from diverse background into the college. That is a one way. The second is that how to increase the demand for the higher education. Incentive schemes are in fact a way to increase the demand for higher education among the disadvantaged and underrepresented groups. Some of the initiatives are as follows: post-matric scholarships. Government of India provides the post-matric scholarship for students from the deprived groups, so they can access the higher education with the financial support of this scholarship. Similarly, the post-matric hostels. As you know, the many of the remote villages and the tribal hamlets will be located in a area where there is no higher education institution. So, most of the higher education institutions are located in the urban area. Therefore, the traveling, the commuting becoming an important barrier for those students to access higher education, and getting an accommodation facility in cities is very expensive. That is also not affordable for many of the deprived groups. That is why the post-matric hostel has been constructed in an urban area. So, students from the remote areas can come and stay in those hostels, and they can study, register and study in a regular colleges in the city. Similarly, monthly stipend schemes are available for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, other economically backward groups also. Similarly, tuition fee waiver is there for many deprived groups, and travel concession also. In some states, travel concession is the 100% concession for the women students, and some place it is students have to pay only 25% of the total cost of the ticket. This all actually supporting or increasing the student demand for higher education. And second is a student support program. The last two things, whether it is an incentive schemes or the reservation, was to bring students into the system. Now the student support programs are actually for ensuring retention of those students and fight against the dropout. There are different programs like academic enrichment program or remedial program, because the students are coming from diverse background and they may face many difficulties in understanding the subject matter. So, they should be provided additional learning inputs in the form of a remediation or academic enrichment program. In a similar fashion, students also face non-academic issues also in campus, that is related to the social stigmatization, exclusion or discriminatory practices. So, idea of equal opportunity office is to look into those kind of issues that may have negative impact on student outcome and student performance. And appointment of anti-discrimination, another way to as a student support program. And some of the institutions providing book bank facilities. This book bank facility is for scheduled caste and scheduled tribe in many of the institutions. So, a separate fund has been earmarked for purchasing book for this book bank facility, and that books will be made available to only for these target groups. So, they can get a higher chance of getting the material that is relevant for their studies. And the language labs, language cells and earn while learn schemes. So, many of the students in a contemporary education settings facing severe financial problem. So, as Pune University introduced, the earn while learn program actually supports the students with a financial returns for their administrative supportive work in the campus. So, summary, the idea of affirmative action in the form of reservation in India is to promote diversity and inclusion. There are constitutional provisions like reservation and diversity oriented admission policies. In addition to that, there are incentive schemes and student support programs also to ensure access and retention of students from the diverse background. So, we can see that all these three major initiatives can be classified into three major domains. One is improving access, second is ensure retention, and third is support to succeed. All these together actually reflects the idea of diversity as a value of inclusion. Thank you.